In this video, I'm going to demonstrate surgical gowning and closed gloving. The first step is opening the gown. Our gown is wrapped in a single layer of fabric, and it's taped, and it has an indicator on the tape. The indicator has stripes that, when exposed to steam, turn black, and that ensures that the gown you're about to open is sterile. I'm going to break the tape. I'm going to open this up. And there are tabs on the wrap that allow you to grip and pull open without touching the interior part of your pack. So that's our gown. Now I'm going to open the gloves. There's two ways to set out your gloves for surgical gowning and closed gloving. I prefer the method where I open the gloves so that they fall on a sterile field, my gown wrap, like that. Alternatively, you may open up the gloves and unfold the inner wrapping to expose the gloves in this manner. Once this is open, now I'm going to prepare for scrubbing. I have my hairnet on, I have my mask on, my scrubs are tucked in, and now I'm going to go scrub. Once I have scrubbed, I want to make sure that my hands do not go above my neck and below my waist. In this pack, there are 2 towels. Some packs only have 1 towel. I'm going to take the towel, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to do so in a way that it doesn't fall and touch any part of the table or the wrap. And I'm going to dry my hands and arms, starting at the fingertips, If I just have 1 towel, what I'll do now is I'll use the other end of the towel and dry my other hand. If you have 2 towels, you can drop the first one. Do not set it down like this. Remember, your hands can't go below your waist. So when you're done with the towels, simply drop them off to the side on the floor. Next, I'm going to pick up my gown, and I pick up the whole thing. I don't just pick up one fold of it, I pick up the whole thing. And the way that this is folded, the part that I'm touching right here is going to be up against my scrubs. So it will not be a sterile surface, so I can touch this. I'm going to pick up the whole thing. Make sure it clears the table. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to hold this part, this fold right here, and I'm going to let the rest unfold and drop. At this point, I'm going to shake it out a little bit using one hand. And what's happened is this left armhole is now exposed. I can see where it is, and I'm going to insert my left arm. Once it's in, I can then drop this part, shake it out, and now I can see the right armhole. So I can insert that in there. And just moving my arms, my shoulders, I can put my gown on relatively easily. Note that my hands are not extending out of the cuff of my gown. So at this point, now I need an assistant to tie the back of my gown, a non-sterile assistant. Sally's going to come in. So she's going to find the ties in the back of the gown. There's one at the neck of the gown. She's going to tie those. And then there's a tie lower. One is at the edge of the gown, and the other one is slightly on the inside of the gown. Thank you, Sally. Again, my hands do not extend out of the arms of the gown. Now I'm going to open my gloves. And I do this through the fabric of the arms of my gown. I have my left glove and my right glove. I'm going to pick up my left glove and I'm going to flip the fingers towards me and I'm going to lay it on the left arm of my gown. Now, through the fabric of the left arm, I'm going to grip this fold with both my left and my right hands. So I'm pinching the fold. I'm opening up the hole in the gown. And what I'm going to do now, using my right hand, I'm going to wrap it over the end of the hole in my gown. So now it's over the end. And what I can do now is push my fingers through the gown and also pull on this fold of the glove to advance my fingers into the glove. Notice that my pinky isn't in my glove, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull on my glove here a little bit to make it go into that finger of the glove. I'm going to pull it on a little bit tighter. And once it's on about this much, I can then take this bead of the cuff and I can roll it down the sleeve of my glove and stretch it down like this. Again, I'm doing this all through the fabric of the right sleeve of my gown. You'll also notice that my thumb isn't in the thumb of my glove. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on my gown to pull it back a little bit. Here's my thumb. I'm going to pull on the thumb of my glove. That'll facilitate my thumb falling in. And now my fingers are where they should be. I'm going to do the same thing with my right hand, my right glove. I'm picking this up. I'm flipping the fingers towards me, and I'm laying it on my hand in my sleeve. I'm going to take my fingers. I'm going to pinch this fold on top. Through my sleeve, I'm going to pinch the fold on the bottom. I'm going to open up that hole, and I'm going to roll it over like that. I'm going to advance my fingers out the end of the gown sleeve. And then I'm going to take this beaded cuff, I'm going to roll it down my arm. I'm going to pull on my gown a little bit to expose my fingers and my thumb. I'm going to pull on my thumb. And at this point, my hands and my arms are sterile, so I could advance my fingers into the fingers of the gloves. You want to make sure that there's no fabric cuff that falls below the edge of your glove. So this is the appropriate gloving. I could pull it down a little bit more if I wanted. What we don't want to have is a situation like this, where the fabric part of the gown sleeve is outside of the glove. So the gowning is almost complete. What I have on is a tie-back gown, and so I need an assistant who is either sterile or has a sterile glove on to complete the gowning for this particular gown. So Sally's going to come in. I'm going to untie this front tie. I'm going to make sure that I hold on to both ends of the tie. One of these ties is attached to the front. The other tie is attached to this back panel of the gown. It's this tie that I'm going to hand to Sally, who has a sterile glove on. She's going to hold that tight. I'm going to spin around like this. She's going to give it back to me, and I'm going to tie this. That provides more protection on the back of my gown so I don't contaminate anything. And again, I want to make sure that my hands do not extend above my neck or below my waist. The exception to that rule is if I'm putting the light handle on the overhead light. And this completes surgical gowning and closed gloving.